Good morning. Make sure that's working. Parents, staff, family, and friends, welcome and thank you for joining us today at Scavo High School graduation ceremony for the class of 2014. First, I just want to take a moment and recognize a few people. Annabelle Wonders and the Des Moines Women's Club for their continued support of Scavo High School. You helped make this day possible for our students and our school. Thank you. I also want to introduce the people seated on stage this morning. Tom AHART, Superintendent of Schools. School Board Member Rob Barron, Mike Cameron, School Improvement Leader, Jill Hartung, Counselor, Senior Speakers Brittany King and Nova Morales, and our speaker this morning, Steve Peters. If we can give them a round of applause, please. I also want to take a moment and recognize the staff at Scavo and Future Pathways. Please recognize the work they do every day for our students and their commitment to the success of our students with a round of applause. As we come to a close of this year at Scavo High School, it's a good time to look back at what we've accomplished in what seems like such a short period of time. You've all encountered difficulties, and you've all encountered successes. Focus on those successes and continue moving in the direction that brings you joy and happiness. Many of you graduates sit here today with the feeling of not knowing what your future holds, and that's okay. My daughter's a big Winnie the Pooh fan, and my youngest daughter, and over the years, I've gotten a great opportunity to read quite a bit of his fine work. So I have a quote, and actually you'll have to, Mike Cameron does a great impersonation, so you'll have to hit him up after the ceremony for that. But the quote I want to state is from Christopher Robin DePooh, and he states, "Always remember you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. So believe in yourselves, because you can do great things." Next, I want to introduce, to get our program started, Jill Hartung.
Hello. I'm very proud to present some of the honors today that we have for our graduates. First, I would like to introduce you to the salutatorian for this year's class, and I'm just going to have these people stand where they are sitting. And so our salutatorian for this year's class is Brianna Hutchinson. And the valedictorian for this year's class is Lindsay St. John. Now I'd like to introduce the Superintendent Award winners. What I would like to do, if you don't mind, is introduce all of them, and then we'll have you applaud for all of them. So they're going to all stand as I read off their names. For the Fine Arts, Jose Eduardo Gomez. For the Language Arts, Tiana Schlegel. For Mathematics, Marissa Muniz. For Science, Bev Pitt. For Social Science, Brittany King. We had 2 awards that were given during our awards banquet, and these 2 people are going to stand also, and then we'll applaud. First, the Vincent C. Scavo Award was given to Lacey Miller. And then the American Citizenship Award was given to Cody Clement and to Beverly Pitt. And now our scholarships, and I will also announce these and have these people stand, and then if you would hold your applause until I'm finished. The scholarships, the Dr. Pearl Jefferson, Dr. J Scholarship was given to Tatiana Hernandez. The Sarah Klein Scholarship went to Jessica Butters. The Pat Gantz Corporal Scholarship went to Shannon Murphy. The Glenn Langford Scholarship went to Alexis McCall. The Marie Nassif Math Scholarship went to Brittany King. The Prairie Meadows Scholarships went to Manuel Terrazas and Gayla Taylor. The James Rupnow Scholarship went to Ashley Murphy. The Rotary Club Scholarship went to Lindsay St. John, and the Kimber Valenti Scholarship went to Nova Morales. I would now like to introduce the first of our senior speakers, Ms. Brittany King.
So we don't fall. Sorry, I'm short. This is not only our day to finalize the goals we have accomplished, but our day to celebrate the struggles we went through, to prove to not only our friends and family, but to ourselves that we can do what it takes to make it where we want to be. We, the class of 2014, did succeed and went a long way doing so. As we continue with our journey in life, we will face multiple obstacles. Whether it be your car just broke down, it will take a large amount of money to fix it, a passing of a loved one, or not making a payment on time. Being able to take charge and overcome these difficulties is a big accomplishment. They push us to the points where we feel we have nothing left to fight for. But don't let that make you surrender your success. When we came to Scavo, we were known as the dropouts, the criminals, the bad kids. The people judging us didn't know anything about our lives, only that we were having troubles being in a typical high school with 20-plus students, breathing down our necks every time we turned around in a class. They sat there and criticized us, not knowing that some of us grew up in a very hard life, and we were just looking for a way out. We pushed ourselves. And even when we were down and falling apart, we continued going to school and making sure we were getting everything done. So when this day came, we could finally walk across the stage and say, we did it. Scavo became a home to me. I swear I've never wanted to spend as much time in a school like I did here. The teachers didn't treat me like I was just one of the students. They treated me like I was family. And they supported me the whole way through it. They made me feel important and were always there when I asked for help. I must add, I was impressed with all this because I usually was just one of many students in a classroom and never got the attention I needed. My own journey began when I came to Scavo after hanging with the wrong crowd, not attending school, and putting friends before responsibilities. When I got here, my advisor, Michelle Goody, seemed like a real pain, and I thought she was out to get me. But then I realized that her supportive words and encouragement gave me the strength and accomplishment of my goal in graduating on time. I started to see teachers like Nate Fredericks and Michelle Mead were pushing me because they wanted me to succeed in life. They did not want me to go on to college unprepared and fail in classes by taking the easy way out. Greg Schmida always made me want to come to class. With his funny jokes and interesting stories, I saw Mike Cameron in the hallway almost every hour saying hi and always asking how I was doing. Coming to Scavo proved me wrong about how much teachers really care about their students and how much attention they are willing to give us. These are the teachers I shared my experience with. I know each of you shared your experience at Scavo with other staff. I think I speak for all of us when I say thank you. Everyone in front of me has faced some devastating times in their life, and some we can't forget. Just remember all the work you put in to get this diploma. And know that if you made it through high school with everyone doubting you and telling you that you were basically worthless, you are capable of doing so much more than what people take you for. So surprise them and show them that you worked your absolute hardest to get here. As we look back on the road that we have all traveled since we started at Scavo, I hope you realize the second chance you have been offered and to a brighter future. Keep your heads held high and know that Scavo will always be a place to call home.
I'll leave it low because Nova's short too. Our next senior speaker is Nova Morales.
I'm wearing heels. Good morning. My name is Nova Morales, and I would like to thank all the staff members and the families of the graduates of class of 2014 for being here on this fabulous day. As we look toward the future, we will take what we have learned and move forward to be lifelong learners and contributing members of our communities. There is a saying, if you do not know where you are from, you will have a hard time saying where you are going. My journey led me to Scavo High School on March 22nd, 2010, and I stand before you better prepared to move on in the journey of life. I would like to pay a tribute to those who have helped me along the way. The teachers at Scavo. The teachers at Scavo show you that they are different. Give them a chance and you will see. There was a time when I really hated them and acted out of line, and looking back makes me feel so stupid for not taking advantage of their help. And no matter what, they showed me it wasn't too late to turn my act around and come back. From the struggles with math, but with a little patience and want, I made it through. Thanks, Jane and Tammy. I am from the dedication of Tammy Cross and Mary O'Hearn, making sure we got to school on time every day. Text after text, phone call after phone call. They were relentless. Virginia Traxler, such a warm-hearted counselor. My therapist, Carrie Hunterdos, a very important piece to Scavo. She's here for us with open ears and heart. Greg and Kimbra, words can't explain the love, the emotion, the friendship will never be forgotten. Their unbelievable strength and courage. They had a huge impact on me. Patty, always with a smile on her face, a bear hug, a kick in the rear. Michelle, an awesome artist. You really knew how to nourish my creativity. And when I was feeling sad, a couple of crayons and markers somehow turned my frown upside down. All the one-on-one time with Carl and Steve, when I felt hopeless about long projects, you guys always knew how to say the right words to get me back on track. Thanks, guys, for putting up with me. I am from Mark's bookwork. Mark and I have come a long ways from miscommunications and my temper tantrums, from another teacher that won't give up on you. I am from the wise words of Jodine, be the best you can be and work towards that goal. Anita, I am so sorry for all the headaches I put you through, but I appreciate you not giving up on me when you had every right to. And Rich, I am from our principal that believed I can get this done. Thank you.
Two wonderful young ladies and representatives of our 2014 graduates. Can we give them another round of applause, please? Next, I'd like to introduce our speaker this morning. Steve began his teaching career in February of 1975 as a substitute for the Des Moines Public Schools. In the fall of 1976, he received his first contract to teach social science for the Greater Des Moines Education Center's South Building at 1961 Indianola Road. The school, which is currently Scavo High School, was moved and its name was changed several times over the years, but Steve continued as a teacher and a representative of Scavo High School. So next, I'd like to bring Steve up and introduce Steve Peters. Thank you.
Well, I too would like to thank everyone for showing up this morning on this great occasion, especially for students and for staff. It's always a highlight of our year for sure. And I'd also like to add my thanks to the Des Moines Women's Club for generously donating the facilities here at Hoyt Sherman Place and for their generosity to us as a staff and students over the years. We've used this facility for quite a few different things. Richard asked me if I'd give this speech today because this is my last year at Scavo, and some of you are probably asking, why do we have to listen to this old grumpy guy up there? Let's get something neat to listen to, somebody that inspires me. But First, I haven't always been old, and frankly, you're a little older now than when the ceremony started, so. And then I was looking through some of my materials as I'm cleaning out the files, and I found some proof I wasn't always grumpy. We used to take trips. We'd go to Kansas City, or we'd go to Minneapolis, St. Paul, or Chicago. We'd call them retreats, and there'd be anywhere from 15 to 20 students going, 2 or 3 staff. And at the end of those trips, we'd have kind of a little autograph book that was signed. And so I looked through a couple of those, and hey, listen to this. First of all, Kelly wrote, "We got along better, huh?" Crystal wrote, "Dude, you're pretty cool on these retreats. A lot better than I had you figured for." And finally, Heather wrote, "You're a lot more fun than I thought you'd be." So I guess you have to accept my apologies since we no longer take these trips, or if you didn't get to take CBL with me. So I'm a lot more fun sometimes out than I am in class. Well, anyway, now I need to write the speech. So I've never given a graduation address before, so I thought I'd check the internet. That's a good place to find information. And so I'm online there. I'm probably about an hour or so, and my wife says, "How you doing with that speech?" And then I remembered that's what I was looking for. I need help on the speech. I kind of got lost, but we all know how that goes. So, before I go any further, there's one little business I'd like to take care of. Out of courtesy, if any of you have a cell phone, please take this moment to make sure it's on. You know, I wouldn't want you to miss any texts or tweets during my speech. In fact, maybe you want to take a moment right now and add me to your tweet. I'm Altern Ed Guy, and if you want, why don't you guys in the front wave, and I'll take your picture. Of course, you can watch this on the Des Moines channel too, so probably a little better photography than I'm giving you. Those of you that attended Tuesday's senior celebration heard me tell a little bit about Vince Scavo. That's the man who our school's named after. And since I'm a history teacher, you know, I've got to talk a little bit about history, so I want to give some of my speech up to that time. To tell you a little bit about the school, a little bit about the past of the school that you're graduating from. You heard Rich mention in my introduction that we've had several names, but you also heard me mention Chuck Greenwood. He later became a professor at Drake. He was the one that wrote the first proposal for our school, and he was the first administrator. And Vince Scavo was the first counselor. He was teaching world history at North at the time, and that was 1968, and that was a time, kind of a turmoil time, Vietnam War, and students were starting to question, you know, some of the restrictive aspects of schools, and they were starting to drop out. And so the Board of Education chose to open this voluntary attendance program for students, for these dropouts. And the first class was held at the Julie B. Mayer Center, and those of you that are been here in Des Moines a while, a little older like me, remember that was originally called the Jewish Community Center, and that program opened in January of 1969. By the end of that year, the enrollment had outgrown that facility, and they moved it to a storefront building. It's still standing there. It's a restaurant now, but that was a leased building at 1452 2nd Avenue. Instead of just being called a drop-in center, which, as you heard me mention on Tuesday, that's what it used to be referred to as a short lingo, but the students chose the name the Greater Des Moines Education Center. And in December of 1972, a second facility was opened, and another leased facility at 1961 Indianola Road, and that's where I started. The center was a result of a community development education of the Community Development Agency to expand the program. And the popularity of these programs really showed that we served a unique segment of the school population, which we see sitting in front of us this morning. Special programs in their early days included pre-career industrial workshops, career placement, career vocational exploration, neighborhood youth corps, governor's youth opportunity program, and in those days, the school did driver's education. Now, Chuck Greenwood served as our director, or the Education Center's director, from 1968 through 1974, and then Vince took over in 1974 until his death on January 1st, 1995. In 1980, these centers were moved from the leased facilities to some closed buildings. One was Cassidy, that was on 1801 16th Street, and the other is Kurtz, which is now those of you who live on the south side know that's the 9th grade program for Lincoln High. Then in 1999, both centers were combined and we were moved to the first floor of Central Campus. Our fourth move was to our present facility, and those of you that heard us talking, the plan is to move again back to Central Campus during winter break. As Rich mentioned in the beginning, I started teaching in Scavo in 1978, so that makes my first graduation 1977. So before Hoyt Sherman Place, we had our graduations at ceremonies at our school, we had them in parks, and for a very long time at the Isaac Walton League. And so, which brings us today to this fabulous facility. It really looks like a graduation. So now to address the graduates, soon-to-be graduates, your diplomas are here. I want you to think about what the true purpose of school is. It's not just academic learning. Of course, the algebra, the Scavo paragraphs, learning about the genocides that have happened in the past and are happening in the future, those are all important. But it's not the main thing that we hoped you learned by attending our school. School, especially Scavo, is a safe place to learn, not just the curriculum, but about life. For most everyone, we also gave you a chance to learn how to overcome some of your problems. Most of you probably have had teachers you didn't like, who thought you had other students who you thought were obnoxious. You may have felt others were talking trash about you, or felt people doubted that you could succeed. Maybe you had trouble asking for help because you had doubts about yourself. Or you may have thought, why go to school today? You knew it would be hard to concentrate, you had a million other things to do and places to go and thinking about other thoughts. It's your spirit in overcoming these hard times that truly prepares you for life after school. You'll come to realize that school is not the most challenging time you will have in your life. Oh, sure, there'll be great times that match this, but there'll be times that exceed this. And you'll also face some times that you'll have fears or defeats. But you don't have to worry about facing those fears or problems. School provided you opportunities to learn how to overcome them. Some of you quit and came back to school. All of you took charge of your life and overcame your fear and doubts. It's that action that led you to this auditorium today. That's the most important lesson you learned in school. I've heard the majority of students at our bell ringing say something like, come to school, do your work, and if I can do it, all of you can do it. Becoming a graduate tells me you learned that you will have a better life if you delay the temptations of missing class or leaving early and invest in yourself and in your intelligence. Anybody remember, probably not, but anybody remember what we call that term in economics? Our main term in economics was opportunity cost. So you're here today because you learned that sacrificing in the short term will create a long-term gain. Great people make great sacrifices for the greater good. You are great people. As teachers, there's a lot of specifics we want you to learn, but one of the most important lessons is how to problem solve as a mature adult, not to let your emotions make your decisions. Maturity helps you realize you need to look at the circumstances and the facts of any situation. Becoming a graduate means pulling you together, making the hard choices and sacrificing when graduating might seem impossible. It's finding hope, it's finding courage, and the guts to graduate. You learned that taking the easy way out could destroy your future and not bring you lasting happiness. Teachers, and in fact most people, don't go out of their way for quitters. Teachers, you chose to grow stronger. You chose to overcome your hardships. Hopefully, all of you experienced at least one adult in your life who was not going to let quitting be easy for you. School should be a challenge. Sometimes we had to push you. Sometimes we tried to show you like a coach. Sometimes some of you showed us or shouted at us and swore, and sometimes we didn't have the perfect response. But we believe it's a new day tomorrow, and that we believe everyone deserves a fresh start. As teachers, we do it because we believe you are worth it. And in closing, I hope you've learned enough to recognize how little you really know at this moment. Today, you've heard it before, is just the beginning. It's where you go from here that matters, but do yourself a favor and don't forget the important lessons you've learned in school. No excuses, no blaming, no quitting. Just pick your head up. Keep the cords out of your ears. Dream big, work hard, think for yourself, love everything you'd love with all your might, and do so, please, with a sense of urgency. It'll make it easier for you to make a life for yourself that you will be proud of.
Thank you, Steve. Next, I'd like to bring up our superintendent, Tom AHART, to the podium.
Good morning, graduates and families. On behalf of the district staff, the community of Des Moines, and teachers of Scavo High School, I am honored to confirm that the members of the Scavo High School class of 2014 have met the requirements established by the state of Iowa and our Board of Education and have demonstrated all the qualifications to receive a certificate of graduation from the Des Moines Public Schools. Esteemed School Board Member Rob Barron, as Superintendent of Des Moines Public Schools, I proudly commend to you for the presentation of diplomas the Scavo High School class of 2014.
All right. Jennifer Alarcon. Jake Allen. Stephen Bonzi Stanford. Kiela Bangford. Kayla Benjamin. Jessica Butters. Carolyn Kane. Trevor Campbell. Jakayla Cartwright. Morgan Cochran. Sable Coulter. Kelsey Connard. Jacob Ferris. Caitlin Freeman. Forrest Fuller. Joshua Gardner. Rashida Gassaway. Jose Gomez. Taylor Gruis. Brittany Havranek. Samantha Heathcote. Tatiana Hernandez. Sue Hoffner. Shamontiera Howard. Brianna Hutchinson. Heather Jameson. Joshua Jameson. Rebecca Jassy. Jordan Jensen. Brittany King. Cordero Lawrence. Aaron Loftus. Wesley Marchant. Annabelle Martinez. Alexis McCall. Casey McCartney. Nicole McDaniel. Lacey Miller. Nova Morales. Marissa Muniz. Ashley Murphy. Shannon Murphy. Kanika Patton. Sarah Pearson. Kasaya Pierce. Beverly Pitt. Kimberly Rivera. Brittany Roberts. Anando Sashik. Melissa Salgado. Felipe Sandoval. Tatiana Schlegel. Tiana Schlegel. Matthew Shelton. Angel Simmons. Taylor Slifka. Sarah Soltis. Savannah Sorensen. Lindsay St. John. Kyra Tapp. Gayla Taylor. Manuel Terrazas. Christina Torres. Kelly Trogdon. Heather Van Zee. Gwendolyn Wakefield. Devondre Williams. What a fantastic group of graduates we have today. All right. Very proud of you guys. Excellent job. I'm going to turn it back over to Rich Blonigan for the closing remarks.
Okay, graduates, one thing yesterday we practiced was like wiping our hands off first. We forgot that one. Now, you know, every year we get to this point of the ceremony, and it's one of those things where we look back, and I guess I do, on years past and the graduates before you, and even as our school changes and how we move forward. And, you know, I think the important thing now is you need to reflect on that journey. We kind of talked a little bit about it at the ceremony or senior banquet on Tuesday, is think back on that journey, those people that have helped you along the road. But also think about the things that you've overcome, but also those successes. And I said that at the opening, that, you know, focus on those successes. Focus on the direction that you're moving. There's a lot of people that have been there to help you, and we're still here to help you. That door is always open. Make sure you take advantage of those opportunities to help one another as you move forward, and you're prepared to do that. So make sure as you go on that you do good, that you do those things that help our community, help each other, and move one another to greater heights. So to continue moving this, if parents, if you can stay seated until we release all of our graduates, I'd like our graduates to please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce the graduates of Scavo High School 2014.